Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the Equal Pay Act of 1963. This act acts to close the gender-based pay gaps that we see a lot of. I know one of the popular examples is the national women's soccer team and the national men's soccer team. That's always like everyone's go-to example for that. The case that I found was actually earlier this year, and it involved Lacey's Place LLC, which is a video gaming parlor in Midlothian, Illinois. And they originally were sued by the EEOC for paying their female district managers less than the male district managers. But another female employee was reportedly fired for complaining about the pay gap. And so they were required to pay $92,000 in compensatory damages while also having to create a policy in order to avoid it in the future. And then within the same month, the EEOC also sued Mechanical Design Systems Incorporated for paying their female project managers less than the male, and that case resulted in $210,000 in relief money, as well as new policies to avoid it in the future too. I completely agree with both of those outcomes, considering if there's equal work, there should be equal pay, which we see in the Equal Pay Act. The other form of gender-based discrimination that we see a lot of, especially as women, is sexual harassment. A lot of people don't think that that's under gender-based discrimination, but it is. I'm super passionate about this, just being a woman in a male-dominated industry. But about 38% of women have experienced some kind of sexual harassment in the workplace, and this can be seen in many different ways, such as denying promotions, things like that. But there is one case from the early 2000s with Annie Chaporian, and she filed suit against a hospital that she worked at because the sexual harassment she was experiencing. She was a physician's assistant in the cardiovascular unit of Mercy General Hospital in Sacramento, and she was working under a surgeon who made inappropriate remarks, touching sexual advances, things like that. Even though the hospital denied all of the allegations, Chaporian was awarded $168 million in punitive and compensatory damages. So the EEOC protects against sexual harassment along with the Equal Pay Act. So those are just two things that I'm super passionate about when it comes to gender discrimination.